What was your house like? How was it furnished?
Well, it was, like I told you, it was the end house, and it was 2 up and 2 down, 2 bedrooms, and a kitchen and what you call the dining room. And there was Dad, my mother, and 2 sisters and myself. So we had the back bedroom divided off and made into 2 bedrooms, but you had to go through from one into the other one. So that sufficed for my 2 sisters, and my parents had the other bedroom. But the house itself, they were pretty fairly solidly built in those days. Furniture, well, I suppose you'd call them antiques now. You had a chiffonier or a sideboard. You had a whatnot. I mentioned this to people, they said, what's a whatnot? Well, it was a thing that stood in a corner, and it was shaped in a triangle. Three long legs, and it was stood about this high, and it had little shelves on it all the way down. I said, what's it for? Well, you put your whatnots on it. So, you know, you pick that up and say, what's this? Oh, it's a whatnot. So, all right, stick it on the whatnot stand. So that was one little bit of furniture that we had. And of course there was no wireless, no television or anything like that, no wireless. You had a gramophone for the majority. Nearly all houses had a piano. We had one, and we used to loan ours out around the village. People, if they were having a party, come down and say, can we borrow your piano? So out it went on the handcart and wheeled it to somebody else's house. But it was rather awkward because the majority of things around there had to be carried because of the dirt roads. The rain used to make some terrific ruts in the roads. And then the carts going up and down there had the 2 ruts where the cart wheels used to go and where the horse used to walk in the middle. And once you got your wheels of the cart in those ruts, you couldn't get out. You had to follow those ruts like you would in tram lines. You had to follow them. So that if you were carrying anything, or it was easier to carry it than was trying to wheel it. Even funerals. If someone was being buried from down the bottom end near Booth Lane, it was easier to carry the coffin all the way up to the church. If you lived on Crab Lane, you could get a hearse on Crab Lane because it was a stone road. It wasn't tarmac, Adam. They were like little cobbles, but they're worn in. And of course they used to have the black horses and a big glass hearse, and they could use those. But if it happened to be down in Booth Lane and West Street there, they couldn't get anything down. You had to carry out everything. It was all carried by hand. And the house itself, you had outside toilets, but they're not toilets like they are today. And this may give you something to think about. That when the first thing I remember is we had what they call a cesspit. Now this was a series of 4 toilets, all joined together. All that 4 little houses, just doors in. And these were used by the 10 houses. There was 5 in West Street and 5 in Booth Lane. And those 10 houses used those toilets. But it all went into a great big hole, what they call a cesspit. And the corporation used to come round about once a month and clear this. The methods of clearing were rather gruesome, which I wouldn't like to go into. Then, of course, you got your own toilets. But these were based on a similar system. Only instead of a big cesspit, they had tins. Great big tins, like a short dustbin about that high. And these were pushed into the toilet from the outside, which had a little door on at the back of the toilet. And everything went into this tin. And they used to come round and collect these tins once a week. As a matter of fact, there was a song they used to sing about it. I don't think you'd be really interested in doing it because it was the lad's song. But they used to come round and collect these tins, and then they had a great big truck Never forget it. There was a great big shy horse was necessary. The biggest horses you can think of, those, to pull it because of the weight. It was lead lined to stop, so that anything that was put in it was staying. It was like waterproof. It kept it so watertight. They used to come round and empty them. And those were in being until such as... I don't think there's any left in Crab Lane now, but those were in being until our houses were pulled down.